it's only the president, of course, tapos ang barangay officials, the municipal officials, the mayor, the barangay captain, and the teachers, lahat sila. All are persons in authority. Kaya ho binigay ang supervision sa pulis because ang pulis dyan sa munisipyo is the person in authority. Ang mga pulis are agents of a person in authority. Lahat. Maski si PNP chief is only an agent of a person in authority. He is not a person in authority. So ganun ho ang takbo. Kaya ang barangay captain, you are called upon and will be held liable for the failure of implementing the law in your territory. The guidance and everything, direction, should be followed by the persons in authority. Tayo. Tapos down sa inyo. Sa bababa. Yan ang sabihin ng batas dito.
The news day continues here on One News Now. I'm Charles Lejano. The Health Department confirms that the B1617 variant first detected in India has reached the Philippines. In the latest health briefing, the DOH said that there are now 2 confirmed cases of the B1617 variant in the country. The first case is a male sea-based OFW who came from Oman on April 10, who is now in Region 12, while the other is an OFW who arrived from the UAE last April 19 and is now located in Region 5. Both cases have already recovered and are currently asymptomatic. The B1617 coronavirus variant first identified in India last year is now being classified as a variant of global concern. This comes after the World Health Organization saw that the variant first detected in India has increased transmissibility compared to the other mutations of COVID-19. This makes it the 4th variant to be raised as a concern on a global level after those first found in Britain, South Africa, and Brazil. The WHO says studies are underway in India to examine the variant's transmissibility, severity, and response to antibodies. But as of now, the organization admits their information on this variant is not yet enough.
Even though there is increased transmissibility demonstrated by some preliminary studies, we need much more information about this virus variant in this lineage, in all of the sublineages. So we need more sequencing, targeted sequencing to be done and to be shared in India and elsewhere so that we know how much of this virus is circulating.
Despite seeing a global decline in COVID-19 deaths and cases, the World Health Organization says everyone should still observe health protocols amid the threat of new variants. The WHO also flagged the, quote, shocking global disparity in access to vaccines as one of the biggest risks in ending the pandemic.
We're still in a perilous situation. The spread of variants, increased social mixing, the relaxation of public health and social measures, and inequitable vaccination are all driving transmission. Yes, vaccines are reducing severe disease and deaths in countries that are fortunate enough to have them in sufficient quantities. And early results suggest that vaccines might also drive down transmission.
The Philippine economy contracts for the 5th consecutive month in 2021. And this is the longest time that the economy has plunged since posting an 18-month recession back in 1985. To give us more details about this, we have Dale De Vera joining us live from Mandaluyong. Dale, good afternoon. Could you tell us why the economy contracted during the first quarter?
Charles, the economy is still in recession amid the coronavirus pandemic with the sluggish vaccination plan and quarantine restrictions still in place. These factors continue to hamper business and economic activities, which caused the first quarter GDP to plunge into a negative 4.2% growth. 2021's first quarter economic performance saw a milder plunge from 2020's last quarter growth of negative 8.3%, but this is still steeper compared to last year's first quarter negative 0.7% decline. PSA data showed construction, other services, and real estate were the main contributors to the decline, while financial and insurance activities, public administration and defense, as well as human health and social work activities were the main drivers for the economic growth. Socioeconomic Planning Secretary Carl Kendrick Chua says the aversion to risk for most of 2020 has placed the country in a long period of quarantine, which came at what he describes as a huge cost to the economy and people. Chua, however, claimed that despite the contraction, improvements can be seen. This includes the continued contribution of government expenditure to growth, as well as the possible impact of improved imports to future gains. Chua explained that the growth in first quarter GDP showed the limits of economic recovery without implementing any major quarantine relaxation. He added that with a downtrend in COVID-19 cases in the recent weeks, relaxing quarantine levels may be possible, although this will still depend on the recommendation of the Interagency Task Force. Charles, data from the PSA also showed that the Philippines is currently behind its regional peers in terms of economic growth, as Indonesia, Vietnam, and Singapore managed to keep their economic growth in green. Charles?
Thanks for that, Dale. That was Dale De Vera reporting live from Mandaluyong. TikTok owner ByteDance is eyeing a $185 billion business in online shopping, testing the waters with Walmart and Shopify. How is ByteDance planning to challenge China's e-commerce giant Alibaba? Let's find out in this report on Bloomberg Quick Take.
Most people know TikTok as a lip-syncing app for kids around the world, but it's much more than that. The social platform created by Chinese giant ByteDance has started testing the waters in online shopping by teaming up with the likes of Walmart and Shopify. So what will the future of TikTok look like as an e-commerce platform? Its Chinese twin app Douyin gives us a glimpse into that. Last year, Douyin handled around $26 billion worth of e-commerce transactions in China. That's equivalent to the size of Iceland's GDP. There are a couple ways to shop on Douyin. Number one, I follow Luo Yonghao, a former tech entrepreneur who's now one of the app's top influencers. He routinely has those bargain deals for his fans on the app. And on his bio page, you can find an in-app store he opens within Douyin, where you can buy everything from napkins and air purifiers. By clicking into those items, you can shop without even leaving the platform. Number two, live streaming sessions with recommendations based on your interests. For example, these merchants on my feed are now selling facial masks, and you can see a floating window on the right bottom corner showcasing the item. This offers a seamless experience where you can shop while watching the live streams at the same time. ByteDance is hoping to replicate Douyin's success in e-commerce globally with TikTok, and it's putting together a team of engineers in Singapore for that push.
Oral arguments on the controversial anti-terror law will resume this afternoon. What can we expect in today's session? Let's find out from Marlene Alcaide. She is joining us live from the Supreme Court in Manila. Marlene, good afternoon. What do you have for us?
Charles, later today, justices will continue to interpellate members of the Office of the Solicitor General who are defending the implementation of the anti-terror law. But it remains unclear if the Solicitor General himself, Jose Calida, will face the questions this time around. Recall that in last week's oral argument, Solicitor General Jose Calida managed to evade interpellation and remained on the sideline while his assistant Solicitor Generals were grilled by justices. Magistrates zeroed in on some of the most contentious provisions in the anti-terror law. One justice asked how the government would ensure that the ATL won't be abused, citing the NTF-LCAC's baseless red tagging of community pantry organizers. Assistant Solicitor General Marisa Halandines claimed that that the NTF-LCAC is merely truth tagging. Meanwhile, Justice Joseph Lopez questioned the 24-day extended detention period provided under the ATL, since the 1987 Constitution states that detention period must only be at a maximum of 3 days. Justice Lopez asked if the Solgen's camp wants the Constitution changed. He also questioned the authorization power provided by the controversial law for the Anti-Terrorism Council. Solgen's assistants argued that the creation of the ATC won't lead to abuse as penalties are in place. They said probable cause should still be the standard. They also clarified that a so-called delisting is available under the implementing rules and regulations. If ever an individual wants to appeal an ATC decision, the person may freely go to the office of the president, then to the Court of Appeals. Charles, just like the past hearings, this afternoon's oral arguments will be conducted online. The Supreme Court says this will be the setup for the meantime as the country continues to grapple with the pandemic. Charles?
Thanks, Marlene. That was Marlene Alcaide reporting live from Manila. The glitz and glamour of the Miss Universe competition also comes with some bloopers, as Miss Universe Philippines Rabiya Mateo testifies to that after she herself accidentally fell into a swimming pool while doing a shoot for the pageant. The incident happened while Rabiya was doing a fun shoot with her fellow candidates at the Seminole Hard Rock Hotel and Casino in Florida. Rabiya's training camp, Aces and Queens, posted videos of Rabiya laughing at herself after the incident and handling it with grace. The Filipina beauty reveals that she almost lost her diamonds when she fell into the water, but thankfully, both Rabiya and the diamonds are safe.
So, a lot of things happened. First of all, I accidentally fell on the pool, so I got half of my outfit wet, and then I almost lost my diamonds.
And those are the top stories at this hour. Join us again later at 1 p.m. as we continue to monitor the day's biggest stories. You can also catch One News on Signal Play. Register for a free account at www.signalplay.com and stream One News live anytime and anywhere. I'm Charles Lejano. Mask on, wash hands, and stay safe, Philippines. We are One News.